Welcome to this video. I'm Eva Flod. I channel my spirit guides and I channel with my eyes open, which is not so common. So I will close them for a while just to relax, and then I will open them and start the channeling. Today I have asked my guides to speak to us about why children die. So let's see what they have to say. We are here, we are delighted to be invited, we are Aniri, we are the guides of this being, and we love to communicate, we love to share knowledge and truth, and we are so grateful for this channel, for this microphone that we can use so that you human beings can get our messages. You can receive, you can accept if you like, you can take part in our communication, and you do with it whatever you like, whatever you see fit, you do with it. If it resonates with you, you can keep it, you can let it percolate in your mind. You can let it sink into your heart and you can see how it affects you. Does it feel true? Does this resonate with you? Does this reach your heart? If it does, then we recommend you to keep listening because it will affect you. The frequencies with which this message is delivered and transmitted, those frequencies are benevolent, they are helping you, they are healing you on a subconscious level, on a deep level in your mind. It's not just the words coming through this being's mouth. It's not just the verbal content, though that is also important. That is on a conscious level, on a cognitive level, on a thinking level for you. Also on an emotional level, of course. The emotions that you feel, that you are aware of. But the frequencies also affect you on a subconscious level, deep within your mind, affecting you in a positive way. Why do children die? This is a hot potato. This is a difficult question to ask in your society. This is a difficult topic. It's very loaded with negative emotions and feelings of and now there is this, again, this situation where we will not get access to the word we want to use. Our being does have it in her vocabulary, but her mind cannot find it in this moment, and therefore we cannot use it. Injustice is the word. Now it came. It feels like an injustice to you when a child dies. When a child dies, you think it's wrong. It shouldn't be that way. Everyone should have the right to live up till 80 or something. Children shall not die. There is no point in that. It's only painful. It's only catastrophe. That's all it is. And that's why we want to speak to you about this subject. And our being wants to hear us speak about it. She wants to share our thoughts around this with you. She has her own experiences of this. She has gone through this. And she has been in despair and total confusion for long, long periods around this. She's not anymore. She's happy to speak about this. She has reached a level where she understands the meaning of this and why it takes place. That there is a purpose. There is indeed a true purpose for every children dying on this earth. Every child dying. There is a purpose in that story. There is a purpose. Now, to be able to speak about this so that you can understand it fully, we have to say something about incarnations. We have to talk about the fact that you incarnate many times. You move from body to body, and in your physical bodies, in your incarnations, in what you call life, that's where you make the greatest experiences that will be the evolution of your soul in the end. You have experiences in your earthly periods, in your incarnations, and those experiences will evolve you on a soul level. You come to earth to learn things, and you choose what you want to learn. You plan your life in the time between your incarnations, when you are in the non-physical, and that is a time that most of you on earth, you look upon it as death. Although most of you, we shall not use most or any other, okay, never mind that. Many people on earth cannot accept the fact of incarnation. You do believe you only have one life, one short life, and that is not true. Your life is endless, and you keep incarnating until you don't want to incarnate anymore, until you don't need to incarnate anymore, because your soul have reached the level of evolution that is actually the purpose. And then you can go on, you can choose now I don't want to incarnate anymore, now I want to live as a non-physical being like we do. We are non-physical beings, speaking through this physical being. We use her physical apparatus to reach you with our message. And so children dying is a part of that specific child, or those children, it's a part of their plan when they incarnated. No death is accidental. No death is there is no such thing as an accidental death. There is no such thing as a death that was not intended or planned. And that is in the plan that you make before you incarnate. You decide that I want to have a life on earth so and so long. I want to have a life on earth under so and so, such and such circumstances, with these kinds of relationships. You plan your exit. You plan your exit, maybe not in full detail. You may not plan exactly how to die. You can plan to die through accident or through sickness or by your own hand. You can plan that. But it may not be decided. You have your free will when you live on earth. You have your free will, so you will affect this manuscript. You will affect it, but you will exit just about when you planned and just about how you plan to do it. And age is not, it doesn't matter. Some people die young, some people die old, some people die in the middle age. That's in the plan, in the blueprint for this incarnation. And everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for your growth and for the souls around you, for their growth. You tend to incarnate in groups, so you go along from incarnation to incarnation. Not everybody, but most of you do that. So you agree upon a script. I will do this for you, you can do that for me. So I will get my optimal evolution, my soul will get the optimal evolution, and so will you. I will treat you like this and you will react like that. So when we are incarnated, we will have this this interaction going on between us, so that we will have the opportunity to learn what we want to learn. And what we want to learn is reflected upon, is decided upon, is planned upon when you are in the non-physical, between your physical lives. That's where the planning takes place. And for a soul that wants to a certain evolution, there are certain aspects that that soul, that consciousness, wants to develop or evolve. An early death for that consciousness may be the best way to get those experiences, or for the soul group within which that consciousness will incarnate, that consciousness, the early death of that human being, will be the best opportunity for that soul group to evolve, or for certain beings in that soul group to evolve. So, for instance, this being, she, 2 of her children have transitioned, and the first time it happened, it was a young boy. He transitioned only 36 hours old. He was a newborn, a beautiful, beautiful being. And our dear being here was devastated, of course. He transitioned because they had agreed upon it that he should come into physical life and leave very shortly after to turn everything upside down. For this being, but also for other beings around her. And those beings, they have chosen their way to deal with this or to accept this. And our being here, she has chosen her way. It took her a while to open up for the fact or the possibility that things were not as she thought they were back then. She bit by bit, she has opened up for the fact that that child or that soul who came into her life and the body that she held in her arms when he transitioned, that the soul of that body is alive. And she has opened up for the fact, and now it's completely natural for her. He died to turn things upside down for her. He died to overwhelm her. He died to shake her so that she would wake up from the illusion of death. Death is an illusion. Death, as you think about it, as you feel about it, as you react upon it, is an illusion. It's not true. You never die. You cannot die. There is no such thing as death. The only thing there is change. A change of perspective, a change of frequency, a change of consciousness. That's all there is. So a young child, 36 hours old, or 2 years, or 5 years, or 15 years, it doesn't matter. A young child dies because it was agreed upon within this soul group that this death will affect the members of that soul group in a benevolent way, in a good way, a positive way, a way that will evolve them. And the pain and the suffering and the confusion is what is actually shaking you. That is the opportunity for you to wake up from your belief system that death is painful and dark and that it is not meant to be. For this being, that was a very, very strong belief within her, but maybe even more in the people around her, that this was not meant to happen. This was wrong. And that created and caused a lot of pain within her, that it was wrong that her son died, which he didn't. He never died. That was an illusion within her mind. He didn't die. She thought he died, but he didn't. He was alive all the time, and he was in his peaceful, very loving consciousness all the time. He came into this physical being, he left very early, and he was all the time, he was very peaceful, very conscious of his mission and his task. He said yes to this task. He said yes, I can come in like this. I can grow in the womb of this woman. I can be born, and I can die shortly after. I can leave this earthly plane shortly after. That's fine with me. I do it because this being, her consciousness, wanted this evolution. She wanted this to happen prior to her own incarnation. So they agreed upon that. And we use this as an example, and it's pretty much the same for every child dying. It's to shake you, to wake you up, to give you an experience that is so painful that you cannot continue living with your eyes closed, your ears shut, for truth. And the truth is that you cannot die. You can only live. You can only change perspective. You can only change from one state of consciousness to another state of consciousness. And when you incarnate, most of you, really the major part of you, you forget everything of the planning you made before incarnating. You forget that. It's an amnesia. If you didn't, you would not have the experience that you need in order to evolve. You would not have to go through these painful experiences that are there to wake you up. And this is it is not you. Okay, so this is when you are in your pre-physical state between incarnations. You decide that in this life I want these kinds of experiences in order to evolve, and then you incarnate and you go down in frequency during your childhood. Depending on how it is, you will be on a lower frequency than in your pre-incarnated state. So you go down in frequency, and then depending on how you deal with things, how you receive things, if you can accept things or if you resist things, your frequency level will be like this during life. It might go down even further, depending on how you deal with things, how you receive things, in which way you will be willing to accept things. If you accept, if you see this as opportunities for growth, if you release negativities, if you release traumas, if you work on your frequency, this incarnation will end on a higher level than the incarnation prior to this one. And now we speak of this as if there is a timeline, as if there are incarnations prior to this one. It is not like that. Everything happens at the same time. This is very difficult for you to grasp and to accept, but that's the case. But when we speak to you now, think of it as a line of incarnations. And your overall frequency level, the purpose of being on earth and the journey on earth for every being, if we draw a long-term line, that is through all your incarnations. The purpose of it is for the line to develop like this, higher and higher frequencies. That's the purpose. So for this being, for instance, this experience, her son transitioning at a very, very young age, totally unexpectedly, totally. That experience, during periods, she has been down in very, very low frequencies concerning that, very low. completely painful. And then she has developed, she has accepted this, she has released this trauma, she has worked on it, she has healed herself with the help of us and others. So now her frequency level is much, much higher than when she, than when she was a child, for instance. And that's the purpose. That was the purpose for this child dying, which he never did. He didn't die. That was the thing that this being wanted to experience and learn within this incarnation. When she leaves this physical plane someday, she will go back to the non-physical state, to the pure consciousness state, and then she will know all of this. She will know that there is no such thing as death. And she will keep interacting with her son who died. She interacts with him now. She communicates with him. She is in contact with him. He is present in her life. He is not dead. No child can die. There is no such thing as children dying. But there are children transitioning. There are children leaving the earth plane, yes, in order for the soul group around that child to have an opportunity to evolve. And that soul group is often, of course, the family and friends and so on. And in some parts of your world, many children die, in starvation, for instance. And there has been an agreement within a very big group of souls that they say, yes, we are prepared, we can go in, we can incarnate in these circumstances, in starvation and poverty. We can incarnate in these circumstances to shake the world. To shake the world. To give the world an opportunity to wake up from this madness, from the pattern, from the belief system that it is in a way okay that big amounts of people on earth don't have food and pure water. That's a structure in the Western world. That's an agreement in the Western collective mind, that some people starve, some people don't, some people are very, very poor, and some people live in a massive material abundance. You have agreed upon this order in the Western world. And this big soul group of beings, they agree upon to come down, to incarnate, and to die at a very young age from starvation or from sickness due to unclean water. They do that to shake the world, to shake you up, to wake you up from this mad Western collective mind. You don't want that kind of world. You don't want that kind of order. You want children to live and be happy, of course, but as long as you have these ideas in your collective Western mind, as long as you have these images that this kind of world is somehow okay, there will be beings who incarnate saying, I'm prepared to die early to shake the world. And one day they will wake up. One day the Western world, the Western mind, a big enough amount of people, of beings, of the Western mind will say, no, we've had enough, no more of this. And this is a very a process over many incarnations, the process of waking up to the madness of the Western world. So there are no accidental deaths of children. There are no deaths of children. They don't die, they don't leave, they don't go away. The soul, the consciousness, the being, the divine being within that little body, that 36 hours old body after delivery, the soul within that body, or within the 2-year-old or the 8-year-old, the soul does not go away. It doesn't disappear. It's not in pain. It doesn't leave you. It's still with you, close as ever, even closer, because if you who listen to this, if you have experienced this, or if you know someone who has experienced this, know that that consciousness of the child is as close as it has ever been. And you could say it's even closer, but because when it is no longer in the physical body, you who are still on the earth living a physical life, you are not limited to think of that being as a physical body. You are not limited to the physical. You can interact, you can have contact, you can communicate with this consciousness, this being, this soul, whenever you want. And you cannot do that with a physical being, because then you interact and communicate only when you meet. This being, she can log in to her son. She can connect with him whenever she wants, and he's always present. He's always present in her life. And he has a big impact, he contributes very much to her life right now and to what she's doing right now. So he is here, he is with us, he is with her. So we will leave you with this. These are our words on why children die. There is always a purpose. In the bigger picture, it is always a purpose of growth and development and love, and an opportunity for you who are left on the earth plane. It's an opportunity for you to open up to truth, to the truth of who you are and what life on earth is about. We love you. We thank you. We thank you for being invited. And we will come back again. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for listening to this. If you know someone who you think can be helped by this, then please share it. Spread the word. Have a great day.